Does he have it?
Medeiros is going to get it.
They're going to toss it. They haven't got it.
He's on the outside line though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's come back into play. Exactly, Miller's still such trouble. He's not on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's going to do it. Big Barry!
Good evening and welcome once more to Evolution Sim Racing. We are here for round 3. It is Le Mans 1 hour night race here for you, entertainment this evening, and I am very much looking forward to Le Mans, an absolute classic track. It is Stephen Karabelas on the mic, once again joined by Biggles, ever present, always ready to be here. We are looking forward to a fantastic one here, Biggles. It's designed to test reliability and a lot of fast sectors on this track, long straights, tight corners. What do you make of this one?
It's going to come down. I mean, it's going to come down to that. It's a straight line speed, really, at the end of the day, because there's so many of those straights. And I saw during the qualifying, the practice sessions, that it was a drag strip. It's all going to be about who's going to outbrake and out accelerate everybody into those many twisty corners, and not many of them overall and on the back straight. But it'll be very interesting to see. They're going to get a little bit of a warm-up period. While they're going a little bit of a warm-up period, we'll go over, of course, our standings currently at the moment there.
We certainly will. It's longest track on the calendar, of course, Le Mans, and it always gives us some exciting racing as well. It's a wide track. It gives you plenty of opportunities to overtake. But yeah, very much looking forward to this one. But let's move on to the pro standings then. Like we say, Rhys Saunders currently leading the charge at the moment, being consistent so far. Got caught up in a couple of tangles, a couple of bad starts, but he's still got the win that he needed on the board and a podium to boot as well. Aaron Kirby missed the consistency there in second place. A couple of second place finishes, but never been outside the top 10. And Paul Cowlishaw brings it up in third place there. So you got a podium there, first time out, but a couple of consistent finishes, and he's still there or thereabouts. We're seeing as well. So a couple of newcomers bringing something to the table. We've got Tristan Nebrega down there in P12. He got a win last time out in Spa in the first heat. And things didn't go his way in the second heat, but he's definitely got the pace to compete there at the top end. So we'll see what he can do this week here at Le Mans. Ewan Stitchbury as well, there in P4, has been looking a bit tasty with his pace, but that win just eluding him for the time being. And Peter Slahoffer as well, down there. Missed last week's Spa race, but he was pretty rapid in the first race of the season. On to the ARM standings, though, and it's Nathan Crook who's leading the way there with those. He's got a win under his belt and a podium, but it's Barnett with 2 P2s and a P3 there in P2. Hot on his heels, only 1 point separating them at the moment, so it looks as though we've got some tasty competition here in the ARM standings. John Ludbrook leading the team championship at the moment with his teammate Nathan Crook as well, is there in P3. Again, just consistency here in the ARMS. That's what you need in order to gain the big points. We've got Mark Robinson, who turned up in style last week in Spa with a win, his first of the season. And we had Chris H. Keenan win the double in the first race week as well. It'll be interesting to see if he's here this evening, what he can do. And he certainly is here this evening as well. Already got a 3:59 on the board in practice, which is pretty rapid as well. We've got the Pro-Am standings next, though, and it's Daniel Nans leading the way there by 7 points over Matthew Hoyland. Matthew Hoyland showing some absolute blistering pace in the first couple of races. 2 wins on the board already, but the 9th and 5th are what's taking it away from him to Daniel Nans, who's just had top 5 finishes all season. Matthew Jones also managed to get himself a podium, and James V. Bostock had an absolute fantastic week 1. Didn't go his way from so well from it last week at Spa. Caught up in a bit of the shenanigans, I imagine. But Scott Kostrich, double podium last time out. 2 P3s, and Nicholas Newton as well. One to watch. He's definitely got the pace in the bag, being caught up in a few incidents so far. But it's still a long season to go. We're here for rounds 5 of 14, and it's no double heat this time. We've got double points for everybody involved, though. So 100 points for the win as we move on to the team standings here. Ludbrook Racing with Ludbrook and Crook in the lead at the moment. 306 points on the board for them. Followed closely by only 32 points is Pro GT Sim Racing. That's Aaron Kirby and Richard Knight. And P3 belongs to Pedek. GP2, which is Hussein, and the bossman, Bostock, in the P3 position. DSC Motorsport having some great fans in the chat over the first couple of weeks. They bring it up in P4 as P5 is Team HYR of Jeremy Ulemans and Matt Barnett as well. It's interesting to hear, Biggles, because I've been talking so long now, get your opinion on this. How that's going to work out, that team championship, I think, could be more interesting simply because of the mix and match of the classes involved in that.
We are currently at the moment on the round, because we're at round 3 officially, as you can see. But as you saw that there was 5 listed on there because I guess that they've also counted those pre-season 1 and 2 races before the promotion. So that gives us that 5.
I think it's... The count each heat is a round.
Oh, each heat is a round. You might be absolutely right on that one. We'll go down to the trackside because we're going to get ready for a minute to go over our grid this evening, as the qualifying session had readily went over pretty quickly because obviously the relatively long track, and they're going to make their way down in the evening here at the moment. Sunset going to look pretty is the word I was going to be looking for, shouldn't it? To hopefully not completely get into a night race where it'll start to murder my poor little PC to chug along to keep up with all of his headlights reflecting off everything with, 40-something cars again here, Stephen, this evening?
Yeah, we're going to have another full grid. Testament to the league organisers, that really, to get so many people involved. And testament as well, for the first couple of races, the incidents have been fairly minimal as well. There are a few penalties from Spa. Rhys Saunders lost a couple of positions for a bad rejoin, as well as Marcus Richardson getting 2 lots of 4 points, penalty points, which actually come off his championship points themselves as well. Danny also got 4 points as well for not showing enough caution into the yellow flag zone after a big incident in turn 1 in Eau Rouge. It was almost to be expected. Let's have a look at the grid, though. It's Lucky Cheesy Man himself, Lucky Casey in P1, and Paul, the South African, there, along with his teammate and partner in crime, Tristan Dinabrega, as well. Front row lockout for the South Africans, looking very rapid this evening. Ewan Stitchbury is first on the second row, followed by Brian Damwee, who's had a fantastic qualifying here. Great result from him. Aramas, the previous winner of Evolution Sim Racing's title in the pro category, is starting in P5 with Stefan Parkinson for tyre wall stickers in P6. Peter Cox in P7. Good result for him, a newcomer this season. But we're already underway. We're going to get some lights on the board already, and we're about to go live for 1 hour racing at Le Mans, and away we go. And it looks like a good start there from P3. He's already got the jump on P2 as well, as we get underway already. And there it is. Look at this. Into turn 1. Down the inside goes... I've lost him. Apologies. Down the inside goes Ewan Stitchbury. He hasn't managed to get the place yet, as a little bit off track there goes Luke Lucchese, and a bit of bumping in the background. Managed to just come out of it unscathed just about, but that was tense. Big whack on the door there between P5 and P6 by the looks of things. Tristan Dinabrega has dropped massively. Aramas up to P1 as it stands there. And the big crash there, that's Ewan Stitchbury and Luke Lucchese as well, both out of the race. And that is pretty much job done for them. They're going to have to tow those back to the pits. It looks like Luke is trying to get it turned around again, but it hasn't managed to get it done so just yet. Apologies if you are seeing a few glitches here. Imagine my partner in crimes. PC is struggling a little bit with this night race. It's struggling a little bit, but we've got a big train now down to the first chicane, and it's Aramas who leads over Stefan Parkinson over Tristan Dinabrega, who's dropped down the order a little bit at the start, but has managed to start climbing his way back up. That early accident between 2 of the front runners, you could say. DST Live in chat saying, hope you're well. Looking forward to this race. So are we. It's definitely looking tasty so far. Already had 1 incident in the opening exchanges between a few of the front runners. We've got Nathan Crook there currently leading the way in the ARM categories, quite high up in amongst the Pro-Am categories drivers as well. Doing rather well, but we'll see lots of switches and changes as we come down this race here, as everybody gets a tow all the way down and into the second chicane we go. Aramas Salinskas still leading the way in that Mercedes AMG. 4 positions gained from him, but big gainers are Gary Mitchell and Matt Barnett there You see in the middle of the screen there, 11 positions gained each. James Bostock starting at the back as well, or close to, is gaining 12 positions. Still got a long way to go before he's mixing it with the big boys in the Pro-Am category though. But side by side, we have a couple of drivers here as we come down towards the final right-hander at the bottom of that long Mulsanne straight. And it's already looking very interesting in the middle of the field. Tough to decide who's going to be able to take which positions and where. But as it stands so far, it's a nice clean first lap as everybody's just about survived.
Yeah, they did, apart from those little incidents that you saw at the start. But so far so good, considering everybody is going to go for gold, and considering we do have 39 odd cars on the track. And yep, getting away there. I think it was all perfectly fine for the start there. Of course, we have Mr. DXT, so I hope you're looking forward to this race. Your currently team is, well, all over the place. We have a spinner, I think. We've had, yeah, there it is, right here. And who is that? Is that Pete Cox? Yes, it is. He's going around. It's currently in 29th position. We still have so many cars to wait for around that corner. It's so difficult, isn't it, at this point? This is in a difficult place to turn it. It would go straight onto the racing line.
See, well, looks like a Ferrari there. I can't tell if it is a Ferrari or not because the front end was entirely missing. So somebody's been else has been in the wars there as well. As we see another Ferrari in the background there in the green and blue livery, crabbing like mad. So yeah, a few people getting caught up in shenanigans in lap 1, to be expected with so many cars on the grid. But Aramas and Inskas still leads the way over Stefan Parkinson and Tristan de Brega, who's currently looking very close to the back of Stefan there, but is unable to get the move done into the Ford Chicanes, and through the final corner they go. And probably best to wait for the Mulsanne straight here at this stage for Tristan, and patience will prove to be a virtue around here at Le Mans. It is a track designed to test cars to their absolute limit in terms of reliability as well as speed. And yeah, the toe down that front. Let's have a look at the race start again, see what went on there. Paul Cowlishaw starting at the very back.
Yeah.
It's a poor getaway. Tough one to start there as well. So many cars on the grid. You're starting around the chicane, so you've got to almost turn the wheel immediately. But Cowlishaw getting away well. Ended up in the pits in the end. That's a quick spy.
One of the first corner incidents that are coming around here on the first corner cross, but making his way through there, and then I think this is where there's going to be some sort of contact or just an off-track excursion comes back there, or that accident you can see further up in the field, because there's a lot that went on. There's all of the embrace control and the information about Paul at the moment, but as we do know there was further accident. Maybe playing tricks like this, yeah, but let's go have a look at this one.
On board here with Ewan Stitchbury then. This is the big incident that
yeah, there it is,
caused the crash, and that is, yeah, not sure that Luke saw him coming at all. Tags the rear end, and I get the feeling that might be on Ewan that one.
What's happened to our race leader?
No idea. Absolutely no idea. Down in P6 at the moment. Big mistake from Aramas, costing him at big positions. Tristan is actually taking the lead. Wonder if he's had to come together with Stefan Parkinson, because he's also dropped down the field quite massively. So wondering if maybe a punt of some description has occurred while we're watching replays. But Aramas currently in the thick of it, and trying to get his position defended against Daniel Nance here. Daniel Nance, wonder whether or not he's going to give him the respect that the pro drivers expect, or whether he's going to send it down the inside. Here, it doesn't look like he is in the end. It's a tricky move to get right in that Mulsanne corner as Aramas gets very sideways there, and there has been contact between the two, and Daniel Nance also caught up in that. So he did go for the move in the end, and it's not worked out. It's very difficult to get a move done into Mulsanne corner. That right-hander at the bottom of the straight, and looks like he sticks his nose in, then doesn't, and then got it, and then just a bit of a love tap on the behind, and then that's a bit of damage front right. Should be able to carry on with that, but certainly wants to get that fixed.
Had to lift off too, I think, as well too with that. But he's there's the pressure. You can see him there, and further back in the field there. That's Jamal, Aaron Kirby. You can see all in the pro class. Have to give it for Mr. Matthew Holman again, isn't he? Up in P3 there for our AM class pro.
Aaron Kirby. Aaron Kirby, of course, second in the championship. Wants to be doing better than this. We've got no resoners this evening, so this is an opportunity for him to claw some points towards first place in the championship. But P12 at the moment. And, Jamal for company. Jamal receiving a penalty from last week as well. 2 penalty points on him. As we see a lead here from Mark Robinson, he's trying to go for it in the push curves. It's going to be a tough place to overtake here, and he's sticking his nose alongside anywhere he can here at this stage. Is the man in front very slow on the entry here, and just cannot seem to find a way past. He's getting a bit wiggly himself and could come under attack from behind, and he does. Look at this, the Lamborghini. I think it's actually is it 4 GT? I can't tell. No, sorry, it's a Ferrari. Can't even. I need to get my glasses changed for sure. Takes this position though from Joe Glass, and
Joe Glass getting
number
really
22
frustrated.
car.
It seems to be Joe Glass is very fast here, very quick, very pacey, especially through the cornering. Let's see how the straight line is going to handle the Porsche. That is your Ferrari just up the road there. Look at that, just matches on speed. As soon as he goes out, braking in dirty air. He can't. It's contact actually. And who was that from?
that looked like John Ludbrook
Yeah,
in
John
the
Ludbrook.
Mercedes there, maybe. I don't know. That was a BMW. These are the BMW, so
Oh, no,
apologies. It could be
Richard
Richard Gregory. Beautiful livery on that Mercedes AMG, but got his elbows out for sure in that overtake, and Joe Glass drops another position, and he was looking to try and overtake the black and green Porsche ahead. He's had a bit of a moment trying to get out of their way, and then fortunately it's cost himself 2 positions more. Jerry Umelmans getting past Paul Robson for P2. This would be his best finish of the season so far for sure, and good for a good finish here, but still a long way to go. Of course, 10 minutes down, the hard part's over. Now we're going to start seeing gaps form left, right and centre, and little groups of cars starting to battle things out as we see the quicker guys return to the cream of the crop essentially. But here's Matthew Jones getting past another Porsche, and you see how powerful this drag is down the straight. The slipstream so important to have down that Mulsanne straight, and to plenty of saving opportunities on the Mulsanne straight in the chicanes as well. All of them heavy braking zones, very possible to get down the inside and just send one Ricciardo style. But this corner here, not tough at to make an overtaking.
He used to do that, Honey Badger. He should be returned back to Formula 1. Matthew's going to bring it back here after losing that place to Paul. Wants to take it back here for the DXT Motorsport. So we do know that DXT, Mr. TV Live himself out there, is going to give us some feedback about Matthew as he does watch Matthew do take the position from Paul. Paul might want to take this one back, a little bit of a switcheroo. Remember, they're different classes. So at this point, either just battling to give each other a little bit of a slipstream along there, help each other out, because Nicholas down the road there, 171 machine is in P5. He's the closest competitor, essentially, at this point to Matthew in that Pro AM class. So let's see how that pans out between those two gladiators here at Le Mans, as we're going to be slowly creeping into the evening. You see some of those headlights will appear. Oh, that's a way to cut the chicane there, Brian.
Brian not had the start that he was hoping for. He started quite high up, 4th place I believe, and it's not gone his way so far. Dropping down the order again, loses another position there to Daniel Nance. Daniel Nance doing quite well, you've got to say, but Nathan Crook, look at that, arm driver in P6 overall, mixed it up with the big boys. I wonder whether or not he's going to get moved out of that category and into the Pro-Am category before long. But
14 positions gained for a AM, and just everybody that's new at the moment, AM category is the slowest of the different categories that are. So that's indicating to me that he's definitely not the slowest if he can bring it. You know, also we know that some of the drivers that just excel at some of these tracks so well, and other tracks maybe not so well. And of course, a lot of these categories are placed in based on averages of your average speed on certain overall tracks and things like that. So, you know, come some other track, you might not be one of the quickest drivers. Who knows out there? We've got some information. Matt needs to try to gap Nicholas. And Robson is slowing him down. There you go. So that's the confirmation. And there's Matthew. And currently his closest competitor is the Flying Finn of Nicholas. Right there.
Matthew Holland, P3 overall, doing a fantastic job for DXT Motorsport here. And of course, this race worth double points. It's very, very important that you don't end up at the back end of the grid. Oh, there's an off there in the background. We just caught that very slightly on your screens there, and it's very tasty rejoin as well. Lots of cars having to check up there through Tertre Rouge, and let's have a replay of that as we see. It's just getting a bit elbows out, getting a bit shovey. Yeah. It looks like Joe Glass getting involved there. It does well to rejoin in a nice, safe manner in the end, but a bumper does end up going flying, as people not expecting people to be going so slowly through that corner. Just a little lift that corner, of course.
Oh, this is going to get very spicy.
And of course, got Stephen Cakebread in the pits. We're talking about pit stops here. Everybody's limited to 50 litres of fuel, which back to last time I ran an endurance race in a GT3 car will last you about half an hour. So possible maybe that you can get a one-stop done, but I doubt anybody's going to be able to get that done, because the tyres do take a bit of a beating around here. Should be able to determine, once we've seen people coming into the pits, whether or not they're going to change their tyres in the pit stops. Very, very, very close to the back end of that BMW.
You got Nathan there under a little bit of pressure from all of these drivers. In fact, it's not just Nathan, we've got Daniel leading at the back. It looks like Matthew's made his way up into P2. He's got past Jeremy. Apologies for the one there. We're going to have to focus on this battle at this point. This is definitely... Kind of get a feeling, a sneaking suspicious, don't you, there, Stephen, that something's going to happen here very soon.
I think the tears are almost ready to start falling from this group, but yeah, this is a nice tasty little battle between several cars here. We've got a little DRS train, if you will, all the way from Daniel Nans down to Wesley Van Rens at the back of it. We're on board here with Brian Demuy. He started, of course, on P4, and he's looking to make his way back through this grid as we watch the man in the Porsche. He's there with Nathan Krug, who is dropping a little bit, so he hasn't quite got the pace. He's going to go too wide here into Indianapolis here. Matthew Jones trying to get the move done on Daniel Nans. Gets it round the outside, and there on the inside is Nathan Crook, man in the BMW. Struggling to hold on to these positions as it stands. Maybe he just got a bit lucky with the carnage lap one, and people getting a bit offline. Managed to thread himself through. And now the pace differential is catching up with him a little bit. Stokey Joe in chat says, let's go, Jeremy. And yeah, I believe we talked about Jeremy Uleman, sorry, pronounced it wrong. And he's doing a fantastic job up there in P3 at the moment. Yeah, Aaron Kerr, your screens as it stands.
Well, Jeremy's getting a little bit of a little blink of death, I like to call that one. Unfortunately, it's a very horrible thing to say, but I mean, it's not death, but it's just basically your internet connection or your connection to the iRacing servers is dying at that point when you're blinking, which is very, very frustrating for the driver. Well, not so much for the driver, because you can kind of see everything, but for everybody else around him. Nicholas goes in the pit road, so he has had enough of this battle to elect to do this different strategy. Or are you talking about, once again, those fuels starting to come into play there?
I mean, surely he hasn't run out of fuel just yet. 50 litres can definitely go a lot longer than the 16 minutes of racing that we've had so far. So you got it right the first time. I apologise to Jeremy and Stokey Joe. But yeah, I think that's maybe a couple of people coming into the pits here, just trying to get out of the traffic, maybe trying a different kind of strategy. Two-stopper probably going to be the way the majority of these people are going to go, but we've got a flurry of activity in the pits now. Is several people coming in. Aaron Kirby included among them. Matt Barnett in the pit lane, as well as Richard Knight, and Nicholas Newton, of course, was the first man pull the trigger on that one. But Tristan at the moment absolutely dominating and extending his gap as it stands. 17 minutes in, he's managed to create a 6-second gap. If you can keep that up, you should win this by a veritable country mile. But still plenty of racing to go, and at some stage I get the feeling he's probably going to catch lapped traffic as well, and that's always going to be a problem in itself. We've got Nathan Crook again getting overtaken as Wesley Van Rens looking down the inside. It's going to be the outside
point,
now.
Yeah, you kind of wonder with Nathan under a little bit. He was up 17 positions. Now he's obviously getting swamped by some of the other faster categories. So category drivers. At this point, what do you continue, or do you elect to do what some of those drivers have done? Probably about 10 of those drivers around on the grid have elected to take their pit stops. I don't know, or sometimes just enjoy racing. You got Rob out here, Rob Mackay, so Mr. DXT, that's one of the other teammates he's going to be looking at. He's in the middle of these wars there for Mackay. I love that little pink livery there. Actually, it's completely different. It's got like fin chocolates. He's probably like just focusing on the cars up the road.
Yep, starting to see those gaps just starting to extend a little bit. We've got big gaps up at the front. Aaron Maslinska's unable to recover after his early punts, and Matthew Hoyland actually did manage to get Jeremy Ulemans as well. So up to P2 goes the Pro-Am driver, and looking very racy and pacey here in France this evening. But, still, as you said, long way to go. This is the nature of endurance racing. You've got to keep it up for a long time. As Lookbrook takes a little trip into the gravel there. Manages to get going again without too much trouble.
Just have a look at the battle up the road. Still continuing. As there he is. There he's about to be kind of swamped by Gary, the Gaza. Different class, of course. You got the Pro AM and the AM class, and I think he'd be wise just to tuck up behind Gary, which he has for John. And something's going off here. Oh no, there's Nathan. So
He's Nathan Crook. It's all come to a crash again in the end of that one. And yeah, I was going to say that before we were talking about what should he do? Should he pit? And I think he's lost it on his own in the end by the looks of it. There's nobody near him. And yeah, just that curb of death, absolute nightmare. If you drop your wheel over the other side of that curb, it
goes off to the left there as well too, so that avoids anybody else's race, especially in an endurance race. So for an hour, you've got to make sure that try not to take anybody else. So good recovery there, Nathan, for saving that car to live to see another day. And all the leaders are coming in pit road.
Certainly are. So wonder whether I might be wrong, because I haven't done any testing myself yet, whether or not I'm wrong on the 50 litres lasting half an hour. Obviously you're at top speed a lot more here than you are at other tracks. With over 70% of this
coming in. Look at that, everybody.
Oh, yes.
So I don't think anybody's going to risk
fuel.
it too long, partner. So what, 20 minutes you're looking at for the fuel. So let's figure that out. That's a 3-stopper for sure, right?
It's a 3-stopper then, yeah. If that's the case, I get the feeling nobody can carry on another lap because they're all their tanks are totally dry, and everybody piles into the pits, and this is going to be very interesting, this as well. Who's going to get in and out quicker than others? Are going to jump positions here and there. We've got so many drivers to keep an eye on. It's almost impossible to remember where everybody was, but Tristan was in the lead, and he will stay in the lead as well.
Here comes Nicholas. He's the first driver that's already made a pit stop, so this is be interesting to see where he's going to slot back out. Nicholas is now coming back out, so back into the lead of this race. Here it is, coming around the final couple of corners here for the flying Finn. House has paid off for him by taking that early pit stop. That'll be interesting. Later that, he's going to be jumping a ton of people. Look at him move up the list right now and slots up at a P5.
Certainly does. That's worked out an absolute treat for him because he managed to avoid all of the traffic entering into the pits, which obviously is going to slow people down as the concertina effect takes effect under braking. And you think of there's going to be at least an incident or two as somebody gets punted, or is the puntee as well. We've got a replay of somebody there just spinning off in sure that is. Is that the final chicane? That's not the final chicane. That's the second chicane. Oh, what a terrible rejoin. He's taken out 2.
Yeah.
What a terrible rejoin. You had to stop off the racing line there, reverse and get the car straightened up. He's taken out somebody totally off the track there, and
That's coming out
second
of the pit
person
road, wasn't it?
only just got away with that. Only just got away with that for the second one, but that's going to be some big penalty points there for them, losing some championship points. As we're on board now though with Ewan Stitchbury, who's looking to left, right, but he's boxed in, can't go anywhere, got to hold station
Go
at
for the middle.
stance. I think that would be far too risky at this stage. Just push the guy on the outside along, and hopefully you can get him to make the move, and then you can take them both on the next one. Ooh, bit of a snap of oversteer there.
Oh, yeah.
The Porsche in front ends up going very deep, loses out both positions. But Ewan Stitchbury doing well to pick up the scraps here, and should get the tow. He's going to go for the outside into the next chicane, which is an interesting move, but he will have the inside for the middle of the chicane, but outside again for the erector as well. But this is going to put him in the best position for Mulsanne corner as well, if this remains side by side coming out of the chicane. The don't know is he managed to get the top speed to get up before the chicane, and should navigate the chicane nice and coolly. And then Paul Robson drops a position, but did gain 1 from Brian Demuy, who got the first chicane all kinds of wrong and far too deep, gives up both positions. Jeremy Ulemans here on the back, onto the back of Matthew Hoyland, and Arama Salinskas has managed to actually jump a place in the pit stops as well.
Now,
Jeremy,
sorry,
all over the back here. He's going to go for this move into Indianapolis. Really tough place to make an overtake, but he's going to go for it. He's got the inside. He's going to be given the outside, and the quickest line through Indianapolis. It's just been given up. But is Matthew going to be able to fight this back?
I think Matthew's going to sit. We can obviously get the inside information out there from his engineer, and I think he's not going to have to fight it too much. Remember, his fight is with, once again, Nicholas is running back there. Now, this is the interesting thing. We did see Nicholas go in earlier, remember? A lap also earlier for those pit stops, so it'll be interesting. We know that he's going to have to come in earlier in this race as well. And how much of a gap, that's what I'm curious about. So Matthew, does he have? Matthew's here. So you've got Zelinkas with about 7.8, and then you have, so it's about 9-second gap. I'm just wondering whether or not Nicholas shaved any of that gap out before pit road or not. That's one of the DXT out there to see whether or not that did pay off. Scotty further back here at the moment, Gary Mitchell and Matt Barnett. There it is. Gary Mitchell and Matt Barnett are going for it. This is down on P21 at the moment.
Gary Mitchell, of course, in that beautiful livery of the Caramel. Another confectionery driver. We had the M&M driver from last season. I can't for the life of me remember who that was. But there's a couple. We've got Turn of Caramel. We also have the Tunnocks Tea Cakes as well, as we continue the sweet theme. And he's hoping for a sweet overtake here on the BMW in front. Unable to get anything done here in the Porsche curve. It's going to be very difficult to get any kind of move done in this part of the racetrack. Probably best to wait, as always, for the Mulsanne straight, which makes things a lot easier for your overtakes as you come around the final corner and down pit road. It's an interesting battle there in the background between the pink Ferrari and the Porsche as well. Brian and we at the moment lining up once more on the black Porsche of Paul Robson. This didn't go well for him last time. He lost a couple of positions when he tried to make the move. There is Aaron Kirby there in the background in the Ferrari, hoping to pick up any scraps if that happens again. But, Brian will be hoping that he can just make this move nice and cleanly. We've got some interestingness here. Oh, that's a big punt. Did not expect him to cut across his rows at the last second there, but put your nose into the vortex of danger. Slightly to get cut off.
Yeah, that's Rob Mackay. Mackay?
Mackay.
Yeah. Trying to get the replay of that one. There it is. So there's a little bit of contact between that.
Extremely well to save it, you've got to say, Mackay. He's that gravel update.
What about the boss man? You know this is going to be going into this corner here. It goes too deep, keeps it out of the fence. Luckily, I think showing him costing about a second on that one. That's okay, boss man. He's still in the race, boss man, and he's currently down in 28 positions. He's gained 11. So Always good to have a nice little positive number next to your name.
Heading in the right direction, that's where all that matters. It's a little battle here between Gareth Newton and Richard Gregory behind Ludbrook there. We'll take the turn for the worst still for Nathan Crook as well, leading there so well for so long in the early stages of this race. As we head towards the halfway point, we've got plenty of battles up and down the grid to keep us entertained. There's Stefan Parkinson trying to get this overtake done here on Matthew Jones, and it looks like he's just about got it as they're heading down at Mulsanne. But is Matthew Jones going to keep his nose in the inside here? It's going to get cut off if he does. There it is. Stefan Parkinson gets the place, and Matthew Jones rightly gives that one up. It's very, very easy to make a mistake there into Mulsanne corner. That right-hander, it's got a little kink just before your braking zone, and that is pretty much your braking marker as well. As soon as the road straightens out on you, you've got to try and get the car as straight as possible, and hard on the brakes to get down into second gear for that tight right-hander. Very, very easy to lose it under braking there if you're going side by side and the pressure's on. Now, the side by side in Indianapolis here, this is also a dangerous place, but a good place to make the overtake as well. Looks like there you have it. Brian Demouy gets it done in the end, down the inside in Indianapolis. What a move that was. Yeah,
really getting it done. The pace there coming alive there for the Porsche. And he essentially in this race is the lead Porsche in the 224 machine. Everybody else up the road there, some Ferraris, BMWs, and Mercedes. And him and Paul are also the same beast to that. They're going to be straight line speed, almost perfectly equal, no doubt. It's also all about once again being bold and brave on the brakes, and also how gingerly you can slap that accelerator, the gas pedal, without having the rear end slip her up too much for you. That's how you handle these GT3 beasts, my friend.
Talking of slapping it, Tristan Dinabrega in P1, 12 seconds the lead over his closest rival Jeremy, has just set the fastest lap of the race with a 3:56.19. Absolutely rapid. That man is flying, and hasn't looked back since he took the lead of this race on the opening lap. And after incidents around him, he's kept his nose clean, and is currently running away with this one, you've got to say.
Look at all the track he's got. Look at that. He's got almost a whole main straight away. You can see just a couple of cars on that track map, a couple of the Pro AMs, but he's got nobody around him. He's got a huge gap behind, 12 seconds. Just cool, calm, Thursday drive, past that KFC, probably go through the drive-through right there on the right-hand side, grab yourself a burger and come back out, and still be in the lead of this race. Or maybe, that's a little bit of exaggeration, but let's go probably in about 15 minutes or so, man.
Towers are going to be with us. Ewan Stishbury, who I want to follow on board with at the moment, is on board with here. Sorry, with Aaron Kirby. But Ewan Stishbury was close to the back of Nicholas Newton, who pulled off the undercut, and he's going to go down the inside here. Gets the move done. It looks like Ewan just gave him. Nicholas just gave him that. Didn't want to fight that in the slightest. Gives him the inside line and just wants to be in the tow. Can see that Ewan is much faster than him, and. He certainly was last lap, 2 seconds quicker, over 2 seconds quicker on the last lap. So we see another overtake here from Kirby as well. This Mulsanne straight proving vital for these overtakes. You see in the background there, Stefan Parkinson getting a big tow. It's not quite done just yet for Aaron Kirby. Gets his nose chopped off in the chicane, and fly down now, and what an exit he gets. What an exit that was. He just had that plan all year long, didn't he? He just knew exactly where he was going to put the car. Gets a superb exit, and look at the overspeed he's got down the straight now. Now, can Stefan Parkinson get the move done on Wesley Van Rens as well into the second chicane? He's driving towards, and he's going to go for the inside. No defence from Wesley. Doesn't fancy it, but look at that. He just can't get it done. Fixed setups, of course.
Yeah. Once again, it's all about your trust in your braking, and once again your acceleration that we saw before, especially in the same beast. You can see like Ferrari, identical cars, and it's going to be.
Makes it so tough. As soon as he steps out of that tow, he's only got the same exact power as the car next to him. Fixed setup, of course, here in this series as well. So the air just hits him like a brick wall, and he just loses all of that overspeed almost immediately. He's going to have to go for a real send here if he wants to get it in the Mulsanne corner now. Probably better off just waiting for the exit here. Get a good run out of here and hope that Wesley makes a mistake, but he doesn't, and he holds on to the position for now. Is he going to be able to go for the send into Indianapolis, and could be on the outside for the right-hand kink, so you can get the inside for Indianapolis, because the camber's there on the inside, gives you the best speed. But, don't get it done nice and cleanly. It's very easy to fight it back into Arnage. Let's see what happens. Looks like he's just going to hold off for the time being. Doesn't want to go for any risky moves. Oh, that's wide for Wesley Van Rens, and there he goes. He takes the position. Doesn't need to ask twice. He didn't want to do for anything too risky, but when the door opens like that, you get perfect.
Yeah, that's what James would say. Of course, and you are here on the JP Broadcasting Network, and welcome along if you are tuning into this 1 hour special race that we have in the grid here at Le Mans, the classic track here in France, what I'd say. And so far, Tristan still running away from the second gap over Jeremy or Le Mans. I mean, when I if Jeremy's actually happy to have Le Mans literally in his name, isn't he? Right there.
It's a very much a possibility, but it's certainly not going to be sour like the lemon after this one. P2 at the moment, but he's in a battle at the moment with Matthew Hoyland. Matthew Hoyland doing well to stick to the back of him, and really doing a fantastic job for Team DXT. On board now with Gary Mitchell once more in the Caramel Porsche as he tries to line a Ferrari up. Come down into the final sector here. Very difficult place to overtake here in these fast chicanes, and the Porsche very unsettled on the curbs here, especially in comparison to the Ferrari. If the 296 is anything like the 488, that is, the 488 could demolish some of the curbs around here. Definitely want to take a lot of that final curb as well. It's a poor exit in the end for the man in the Porsche. Is he going to come under threat now from the Porsche behind? Peter Cox right on board with him now as we come down into turn 1, and again, not the place to overtake because you're just going to leave yourself open to attack down the Mulsanne straight. But look at this, he's backing off and taking a nice casual line through here. It's working wonders for Mr. Cox as he's all over the back of Gary Mitchell. Has come down now towards Tertre Rouge, flat right-hander here that leads on to the Mulsanne straight. Important to carry as much speed as you can through here, but if the man ahead is just a little bit too slow, you very easily end up in the back of them.
Yeah, great little squabble, as you can see, just over halfway through the race. Down about 25 minutes and change to go. They're having fun. It's going to turn into a three-way. Well, we haven't seen that gamble yet. Too much movement. So the inside is still allowing. It's going to get that toe, doesn't it? There it is. But where can he go? Got a car to your right. Both trying to get slinging on past there, Richard Knight. We'll get it in front. Job done.
He certainly will. Certainly will. The Porsches seem to have the number of the Ferrari on the straight, but the toe obviously massive, and the Ferrari didn't have any. As we see Joe Glass and Wesley Van Rens going at hammer and tongs. Joe Glass just overtook Wesley Van Rens while we were following on board with that. And, Wesley Van Rens may be looking to get him back here before the Mulsanne straight is over. But it looks like he's got a very good exit there out the final chicane. That's going to be job done pretty much for Joe Glass. See a replay here.
Marcus Richardson, yeah, by himself out on the track. Interesting livery. Oh, he slowed down a lot. Yeah, must have some sort of technical problem with that car. And
yep, he stops on track and retires it. Not sure what's going on.
Here comes Rob
there for him. That's another tight move, trying to get it done into the Mulsanne corner. Wisely backs out of it. It's very easy to cause incidents there. It's definitely not a too wide corner. I've seen it done. But, Rob Mackay will wait for another opportunity, maybe in Indianapolis. He'll see if he can get close enough to the back of the BMW in front. Need to be pretty much alongside into the right-hander. Is he going to go for it? He looks like he is, as the BMW goes defensive. But it's going to be in the wrong place for Indianapolis now. If the Ferrari can hang it around the outside, and he certainly tries, but doesn't get the car slowed down in the right manner to get down the inside into Arnage through the goal. But he's got the Porsche behind to think about as well. One false move there in that battle with the BMW and Mark is going to have food for thought as to how to get past these two. But seeing this, battles up and down the grid all over the place, but one place there isn't a battle is in P1. Tristan and Braga, 16 seconds now, the gap out in the lead. He's doing an absolute fantastic job running away with this one, and is looking odds on to drawing such great names as Nico Hulkenberg and Fernando Alonso in winning the Le Mans race. It's some way to go, of course, before he can put his name next to Tom Christensen, 9-time winner. Holds the record at Le Mans, including winning 6 in a row, believe it or not. Some feat.
That is some feat. That's almost like winning 6 Formula 1 championships, considering that situation, as they're still going for it too. For now, further up the field, we do have another battle that's brewing behind Nicholas here. And these two pro drivers, pro class there of Ryan and Paul just behind him, being perhaps a little bit held up here. And we know that Mr. DXT out there will be probably very happy to see these two cars pass his driver's main competitor, the Pro AM, as they make their way down the straightaway with the trees that have more bark on them than leaves. There's a specific term for those trees, I'm not quite sure what it is, so let us know. And out there to Stokey Joe, well, yep, 2 of your drivers are currently at the moment for the Le Mans, and that's the man that's in P2, Joe and me, and his other driver for the team HYT, sorry, my apologies, is just having a look down there, and that's Matt Barnett.
Brian gets the move done on Nicholas there, though, on your screens, and it's Paul Robson lining him up for the next one, but now he's got the tow from Brian. Possibility that maybe he's going to be able to spend. He's going to maybe have a go back at Brian. He's got the inside line now into the second chicane, and that's now that he's lost the toe. Look at that, it just goes nowhere. He's still alongside enough. Maybe going to be able to outplace the last of the late breakers if I get my teeth put back in. He just managed to get Brian, but all of this is pretty much necessary in the end to defend from Paul Robson behind, because Paul Robson, benefactor of that tow from the Porsche Brian, could have possibly.
I got this overtake, sorry, real quick there, because that's the call out there from the, that's the overtake right there that she wanted to mention, Rob's overtake. So there you go. We do that because we enjoy a live audience, and we try to keep it as entertaining as possible for what you would like to see. I'm just having a look at something. Scotty right here now on John. Oop, there, no, sorry, it was Jared Newton. Good job, he did actually. Chris Keenan unfortunately has as well to attack here as well. The MRC 76 driver, as you can hit that chicane, overcorrect it, there it is, and bingo into the fence, just a passenger at that point. Hard knock for the Belgian driver.
Yeah, Turner Rouge claims another victim. It's a tough corner to get right. It is pretty much just a little lift and chuck the car in and then hope it sticks, and yeah, didn't go to plan that time for sure. On board now then with Mark Robinson as he lines up Daniel Nans. Mark Robinson, of course, the AM driver, trying to battle it out here with one of the championship leaders in Pro-Am, and get this move done. It would be one for the ages. Got a lot of traffic around him. Any slight mistake here could collect a couple of people. So we've got a little train now of 4 cars. Peter Cox at the back as well. We're going to start to see pit stops coming in thick and fast anytime soon if the first stint is anything to go by. We've hit the 2/3 mark, past 40 minutes as Ulliman sets a 57, some way off the 56 that Tristan was setting earlier in the race, but looks like Tristan has just checked out at this stage. Doesn't seem to have any competition at Le Mans for this one, and but still a long way to go. 20 minutes, 19 minutes left, and a couple of pit stops to go as well. Anything can go wrong in a pit stop, as always, but at the moment you can't look past Tristan.
No, Tristan's just absolutely dominating. Further up the field, I got a feeling that there's Nicholas is going to be a bit of a sitting target on that one. He'll let one of those other pro drivers go through. He's on a nice toe. See that, not trying to handle anything to go side by side through. He realizes His job is against the clock more than anything to try to catch Matthew Further back in this battle, of course, that is still going on our screens live on the JP Broadcasting Network, presenting you, of course, the Evolution Racing Series.
Board here with Mark Robson once more as this little battle starts to get bigger as Gary Mitchell has now joined the back of it as well. And it's very, very tough to follow cars here at Le Mans, even with low downforce cars such as these GT3s. Not very aero dependent, but it still sucks a lot of the force off those front tyres and gives you a lot of understeer when you're following a car very closely, particularly in the high speed sectors such as that first one and the last sector as well. But that all turns into absolute joy when you hit the Mulsanne straight and you get that beautiful toe. And man in the front here is going to really struggle to keep people behind. But, such a good exit out of Turner Rouge. Looks like he's going to leave them to battle it themselves in his mirrors. Is on board. What a shot we've got here into the first chicane. Everybody's looking to get through it nice and tidily. Whoever gets the best exit here can get some great positions. And it looks as though they're all through nice and tidily. Nobody's really got a good run, but look at that, out in the lead. There goes Mark Robinson, and starting to create a gap now to these man. Peter Cox coming under threat now from Mark Robinson. Sorry, I've got my names mixed up. Mark Robinson coming under threat now from Peter Cox. Peter Cox has the inside line for the second chicane. That should be easy as like. We've got a big battle in the background as well. Last of the late breakers there is Daniel Nance as he's going to try and stick it around the outside. They're going to go fighting this all the way down in the Mulsanne corner. Somebody's going to have to get ahead before Mulsanne corner, or this could end in tears. And inside line here for the BMW driver.
That a slowdown?
Oh, it's neck and neck. That's a slowdown there for Peter Cox as well. Must have taken too much of a cut there. Almost came across too early. Did the BMW of Gary Mitchell, and he's going to maybe stick his nose where it doesn't belong. Oh, no, the inside is so close to contact there, and manages to get away with it in the end, and could come under threat now from Gary Mitchell behind Daniel Nance there in the BMW, the 195 driver. Almost collecting Matt Barnett ahead there as they fought hard going into Mulsanne corner. Tough place to overtake there. Very easy to get it wrong. Almost ended. This is going to be another overtaking opportunity here. Got the right line there has Nance though, but Daniel Mitchell got the faster line around the outside to get the place before Indianapolis even occurs. And that's another job done nicely there for Gary Mitchell. He's on a charge at the moment, overtaking left and right.
Here's James. What's happened here, James?
Just got on the curb and unsettled the car and then reversed it straight into the barrier. That's going to be a fast repair. Whew. Very, very close to not being able to get off the track in time there as well. Across the track, maybe a little bit dangerous. You have seen other angles for that, I'm sure, but we've got another overtake on the cards here. It's all action everywhere at the moment, except for the lead. Matthew Hyland, though, I've got to say, absolute brilliant job from him. He's still only a second behind Jeremy Ulemans, and he's doing a great job to stick with the man for DXT Motorsport. Fans in chat will be absolutely delighted with this. Aramas Salinskas unable to catch Matthew Hyland, even 8.5 seconds the gap there. But this is where the action is at the moment. It's Gary Mitchell going at Matt Barnett now.
Yeah, Matty's got
done on the HYR driver.
Joe out there supporting his two teammates out there, and as you can see, Matty is trying to bring it to Gary Mitchell. But Gary Mitchell, and you'd have to say, has been, and this man as well, Matt Barnett, have kind of been like spotlight holders per se this evening.
Oh, Matt Barnett's coming
now.
Coming back at him here. These guys are enjoying this immensely by the looks of things. What a move that is to come back at the Karabelas Porsche driver from Matt Barnett. He's took the inside line into turn one, but is that premature? Is this battling just making them lose touch with Rob Mackay ahead? Sorry, Mark Robinson ahead. It's going to leave him a bit of a sitting duck on the Mulsanne straight if he can't get back into that toe. And he just about manages it there, Matt Barnett, with a fantastic run. But look at this run now from Gary Mitchell. Gets alongside so early. This should be job done. Is he going to be able to get the toe and get a good run through the first chicane and get the toe off the green Porsche ahead? it remains to be seen, because look at this. Look at how much you lose, but you don't have any drag system in place. Side by side, they're going to go here into the chicane. If you battle this long, this hard, for this long, somebody's going to come off worse off eventually. Looks like here, breaking mid-corner is Matt Barnett, and Daniel Nans gets a good run on him because of it. And maybe just a bit too cautious there from Matt Barnett. Should have stayed with it, stuck it in.
Well, no, he's still got 12 minutes to go. We're expecting another round of pit stops to happen here further up the field as well. Matthew Jones, Aaron Kirby, and Stevie. Three-way battle for potentially inside the top 10 places.
Well, this is going to be tense in the Mulsanne corner. A little bit of door banging there, but the Ferrari on the inside gets it done. The purple liveried man gets away with a great exit there. That's Aaron Kirby getting past Stefan Parkinson there. And he's going to have to defend this into Indianapolis. He's got a car in front of him to give him the tow, make that job a little bit easier. It's not job done just yet. He cannot count his chickens as Stefan Parkinson looking left and right to see which way he's going to go. He's going to go around the outside. He's going to go for the big dive into Indianapolis. He's going to get squeezed a little bit. But Stefan Parkinson, look at that, sweeping round the outside and gets it done.
Got to make it stick, stop, and then get the acceleration out of the corner, which he did. It'll scrub a little bit of speed because you may see him coming back. Well, and this continuing again now between these gladiators out there. Just going for it too for now. Matty versus Gary. Lurking in the background, of course, is still Daniel Nans. Now remember, they got both of these drivers that are in the Pro AM class and then the AM class. Garris has made a mistake there, hasn't he? A little bit. It's going to scrub some speed off and there'll be a master attack there from Daniel now.
Yeah, he's got a bit wide in Indianapolis, but hangs on to it just enough for the time being. If you stay ahead out of that corner, then you should stay ahead all the way through the Porsche curves and four chicanes. And but at the moment, maybe battling with Gary has cost him another position here as the 195 driver really putting the screws to the Porsche man, but doesn't manage to get alongside in any way, shape or form before the Porsche curves. Going to have to fall in line. Pretty much a one wide situation through here. Very difficult to get alongside through these high speed chicanes, and pretty much guaranteed an accident if you put a nose in where it doesn't belong. But, time being
now. Yeah, I don't expect him to come back in the pit road.
When these pit stops are going to start coming in, it's
any information out there real quick there from the chats as we at board at the moment. Stephen Clarkson, actually he's going on board right now with this man Matthew Jones. Yeah, any information out there from, it looks like Team DXT and Team HYR fan club from what your drivers are looking at going to the pit road now. Practically precisely 10 minutes to go.
And here's, I'm wondering how many people are going to have to do a splash and dash in order to get to the end. It's possible that maybe it's just going to be the one stop. I wonder if people just decided to pit early to avoid the undercut, because it works so well for Nicholas Lutonen. Still up there in P8, has dropped a couple of positions after his strategy genius, but still there or thereabouts and still in a good position. And the group of three drivers behind them, Stefan Parkinson, Matthew Jones and Aaron Kirby, on your screens at the moment, are going to be battling for the next 10 minutes till the end, so maybe you can hold on to that P8 if he keeps things together. Matthew Hoyland has finally started to fall away from Jeremy Ulemans a bit. Ewan Stishbury has started to reel in Aramas Zelinskas as well, and could be within striking distance soon. Got to put the pedal to the metal from here until the end in order to get that done. 3/10 doesn't seem like much, but sometimes it's an absolute age in racing.
Here comes Richard Knight on Gareth Newton. This is down in 21 and 22nd place. Live on your pictures. Only 13 laps, of course, for their long laps, but drivers aren't worried about laps precisely. They're worried about the time. 8 minutes is remaining in this race.
Going a little defensive here into the second chicane, but no overlap of which to speak. He ends up going back to the racing line, but does compromise it ever so slightly. Is the Pro GT Sim Racing driver going to be able to get a good run now into the Mulsanne corner? He's very close to the back of him. That toe is going to be doing its work, but it's a short run to Mulsanne corner, and it doesn't look as though he's got enough space to get the overtake done. They're going to have to wait for the exit, maybe get him in Indianapolis. He's looking down the inside, but just trying to put the willies up the AMG driver. Not actually looking to make the overtake in earnest just yet. But a replay here. It's Aaron Kirby making an overtake on Matthew Jones. The pro driver getting past the lower class driver, and makes it look easy. Certainly does.
Well, the usual suspects are at it still. Mark Robinson, Gary Mitchell, and Daniel Hans. Peter Cox still lurking in the background there, so let's see 1, 2, 3, 4. As you can see, all behind Mark, who's doing a fantastic job in P16, P1 in class for the AM, holding them all back here. And once again, he's trying to hold back Pro AM and Pro drivers to show you the group tower information up there. We'll put that to kind of an indication of where Mark is. You can see he's more worried, isn't he, about Matt Barnett and Richard. Not Mark Robson, but sorry, yes, Mark. As you can see, that's a very, very tight battle, isn't it, brewing for the leader of the AM class.
It certainly is. It's also tight in the championship throughout the classes as well. We saw us not here this evening. Is almost certain to lose the Pro Championship, but Tristan De Brega is odds on to gain massively in that championship there. A win last time out in Spa and a 12th position as well. And this time round, he's going to take the full points, all 100 for winning this one. Double points awarded for this race. And 1 hour night race here at Le Mans.
Dusk evening, not fully night, thankfully. You know,
well, thankfully, otherwise we wouldn't be able to see a thing. We'd just be seeing the headlights going around without being able to see the liveries, which I did do a commentary once on R Factor. That was pretty much the case. It was you were practically blind as commentators. Very difficult to tell who was who. Thankfully, a few of them.
I like these. It's great. And thank you very much for the league for doing it in these times, so that you do get to enjoy kind of the dusk conditions, and you get to still see the fantastic liveries that they put all the work into, and you can see which cars are which. And once again, not just headlights, like I said. So thanks for that, there, gentlemen. Continuing this battle, like I said, for the very important AM class, and at the moment, Stitcherberry is starting to catch Zelenkas a little bit. Last year's champion. 5 seconds to go. That's a battle for P4.
Time for the overtake. He's closed that gap over the last few laps marvellously, and now he just has to be patient and line up the overtake as best he can. Aramas won't give it up easy. He wants that P4. He wants to fight for the championship once more, but here we have a move into the first chicane, and that's Daniel Nans getting through on the Caravelle Porsche driver of Gary Mitchell. Gary Mitchell seems to be unable to keep with these guys. Essentially, he's just dropping down ever so slowly, but you're seeing this thing kind of, it's all happening in slow motion here as the quicker drivers in this little pack end up getting through. And he's going to lose another position here is Gary Mitchell to Matt Barnett now.
Yeah, Matty needs to go for this. Matty needs to go for it because Matty needs to chase down the leader of the class, is Mark Robertson. So that's what he's giving it everything. And he's like, I don't care if we're in different classes at the moment there. Because he needs to clear. He's cleared Gary. He needs to clear out Daniel now. Daniel Nans is going to be basically a bottle, cork in the bottle, essentially, because with under 4 minutes to go now, he's got the last opportunity to perhaps take the lead, the win of the AM class, but this is just allowing Mark right here, as you can see, the green machine, to get a little bit more away. So out there, I'm sure that Stokey Joe's like really sitting there. Maybe if he's talking to his drivers or something, come on, Matt, give it everything you absolutely got here. A race win could be on the cards for your class. And of course, Mark Robertson, Molly Jazzy and his team out there letting him keep it going. But we've got this one in the bag. Go over to the Google Tower once again, so everybody can see where they are in their classes as to where they're going to finish for the points.
You got around 3 minutes on the clock remaining.
Oh, we've had a crash with
which is
somebody. This is a big one somewhere. That is Jamal. Real quick, why not show that for a second? All by himself, I don't think that's really going to affect anybody at the moment. Sorry, Jamal. I'm going to go back to the live action because I don't want to miss this in the dying stages of the race. Oh, Stitchberry's gone boxing. Stitchberry's gone on pit road.
In the pit lane.
Yeah.
Needs to do the splash and dash. Can't get to the end. And I get the feeling everybody else will be able to get to the end because 3 minutes left on the clock. That's about a lap. 4 minutes a lap around here. So I'm wondering whether or not we've got a white flag situation or whether or not Tristan got across that line just about in time. If he did get across that line in time, I wonder whether people have not quite realised that they've got 2 more laps to go, if that's the case, because this would be the white flag. Like you can see there on the top right hand of your screen, the number 1 driver, Tristan, is coming through the first chicane now. Could it be that a number of these guys have kind of misjudged it?
Back there, and that's probably at this point the opportunity of winning the AM class over. As where did Gary go? Right off the track there.
Pits.
Oh yeah. Interesting.
A couple of drivers having to splash and dash before the end.
Yeah.
And of course Luke Lucchese out of this race, gave up after that first lap incident with Ewan. Ewan of course carried on, and look how that's turned out for him.
Oh, Stitchberry's
always
coming on the pit road right now, isn't it? Right over the back there. It looks like easy pickings there on Aaron, because we don't know if those drivers are running on vapors right now. Aaron Kirby might be happy to yield this one, saying, look mate, I've got to just get the stretch this to the end there. I've got a minute, I'm just having 2 minutes to try to get it across the line, and some of the drivers probably are on vapors and they can't afford to just be burning through the gasoline that they don't have much left of. Maybe
I think this is going to be
full take, maybe he's all ready to go.
I've got the feeling that this is going to be the last lap as well, though. So Ewan Stitchbury may have got it all wrong here in terms of his fuel levels, and had to do the splash dash just in order to get to the end. Tristan de Bruyne, 23 seconds lead over Ulemans at the moment, and that's not going anywhere. Aramas collects his P4 overall, P3 in class. Nice podium for him, as Matt Barnett is...
he's got two
still
cars to get past there. I mean, essentially, he's got to get past. That's Daniel Nance up the road there, and they are slowly starting to pull in Mark Robertson. That's what they're trying to do. I'm not quite sure there'll be enough time. We'll go over to our race leader here, the South African. That's all alone. You can see him on the track now. He should be able to get another. I don't think he will get another lap in, will he?
No, I think this is going to be the final lap. This is going to be checkered flag for Tristan, who's done an absolute fantastic job here. We'll try our best to stay on board. Aaron Kirby's actually managed to get back past Ewan Stitchbury as well. So they're going to be battling out till the finish line as well. But the big one is Matt Barnett, and whether or not he's going to be able to overtake Mark Robinson on this final lap. It looks like he's so close to doing so as well. Side by side they are as they come into Mulsanne corner. Nobody's going to give this up here, as the BMW's got the outside line. It's going to be dangerous coming into this corner though. Is it going to get? Is it going to be contact down the inside? The Porsche has the inside line, blocks off the apex. There is contact, bit of a snap there, but they both get through unscathed just about. They're going to battle this all the way to the finish line. And I think Daniel Nance has just kind of said to himself, look, these guys are racing for position for the win. I don't want to be involved in this at all. I don't want to get collected by these guys.
Yeah.
But look at this now. It looks like he has got it done, the Matt Barnett. He's got ahead before Indianapolis. He's going to come across. He's going to block the inside off. He's got to block the inside off for Indianapolis. And there he goes. And here comes Tristan, though, round the final couple of corners to win, as he takes the checkered flag and pulls over to the side already. That wasn't the final two corners. That was the first two couple of corners. Yeah. But Jeremy Williams comes in P2 and Aramas P3 in the Pro category, as Matthew Hoyland does an absolute fantastic job to come P3 overall and win the Pro-Am category. Second win of the season, I believe that is for him. Brian Demey managed to recover to P5 in the end. But this battle here between Mark Robinson and Matt Barnett is going to be one for the ages, as they battle it all the way to the finish line for the win in the AM category. And it turns out it's the lowest category that's given us the best racing to the finish line here, as the green Porsche is really all over the back of the BMW. Oh, he's gone wide. He's made a mistake. He's made a mistake, and that is it, all over. And he's practically blocked Daniel Nance in the background. He won't care. It won't matter a jot. to him in terms of his points position, but it looks like, why is Matt going so slow?
Yeah.
Matt has run out of fuel.
Oh, this is going to be
Maybe.
down
He's
the
got to
wires.
go
He's
around
got
the
a couple
final two
more
corners,
to
but
go, doesn't he? Just needs to hang on.
he's got to make that BMW as wide as he possibly can make it, but he does manage to get it done, and across the line he does end up finishing there. There's a flash of lights just to say good racing, I think, or maybe he was unhappy with a block, but Matt Barnett wins at the death there. Does a fantastic job to get that position on the final lap, and then defends it with elbows pointy as you like around the final few corners, as he maybe struggling, maybe got one of the corners wrong, or maybe he ran out of fuel, as Ewan Stitchbury found out to his dismay that he ran out of fuel with one lap to go. And I wonder whether or not he did run out of fuel, whether or not he just thought maybe that Tristan had crossed the line a bit earlier than he had, and that there was going to be an extra lap. If that was the case, that would be very disappointing. But P10 overall for Ewan Stitchbury. And what an exciting race that was in the end. It's so much action going on. Big battles throughout. And that group in the middle for from P10 to P16 or so, battling it out tooth and nail, lap after lap. And in the end, though, Tristan de Brega comes home with a big win. That's going to shoot him right up the championship standings. It's going to be absolutely huge gains for him.
Big gains too.
Starting on 63 points, he'll be on 163 at the end of the day. And that, if it wasn't for the fact that other drivers are also gaining points, would have been enough to take the lead. But Aaron Kirby as well, P2 in the standings, P9 overall here. And a number of high-profile drivers missing this week as well. Paul Cowlishaw, Michael Gow, Peter Slahofer, to name, and obviously Reece Saunders, the man himself, who was leading the championship up until today. Aaron Kirby will probably take the lead of the pro categories. Matthew Hyland has got a good chance of taking the lead of, will almost certainly take the lead of the pro-am standings over Daniel Nans, who finishes quite a way down. P18 overall, I think that's P6 in class. But yeah, lots of stories here today, I imagine. The lucky cheese man, Luke, will not be very happy with the way things have unfolded today, but one thing I will say is if he carried on, he would have hopefully recovered a fair few points, but in the end, he retired. But yeah, the real story of the race today was that battle that went right to the wire in the arm category between Matt Barnett and Mark Robinson. Mark Robinson already with a win under his belt. That's Matt Barnett's first of the season. You'll be delighted with how he's managed that as well. But it's Tristan de Brega over Jeremy Ulemans and Matthew Hyland in P3, winning the Pro-Am category, of course. Arama Zelinskas P4, Brian Demouy P5, Paul Robson with a fantastic race here in P6. That's a good, his best of the season. And Nicholas Newton with that undercut, the early pit stop, gets himself P7, P2 overall in his class, P7 overall. Stefan Parkinson gets P8, Aaron Kirby P9, and Ewan Stitchbury rounds out the top 10. Fantastic racing there then, Biggles. Absolutely brilliant stuff in the end. Have we got anybody ready for interviews, I wonder?
I'd probably give him a minute just to get out there and have a stretch, right, or run to the bathroom, because that is an hour of a grueling race, not to mention after you just backed off your qualifying, only with a little bit of a cool down for about 5 minutes in between that, and then of course the practice session. There's your rest of your field from 11 to 27. And maybe some surprises in there. James, of course, the boss man, ends up finishing in P27. Just want to see where James finished overall in class. He would have finished in, I think, 12th in class as well. So probably not the best day for the boss man. The rest of the field there, as we make their way down to 37 of them, with Damien, of course, for the future team racing a lap 14 laps down. They weren't quite sure if some of the drivers did have a technical issue. Things like that. Some of those crazy incidents that did occur and so forth. Look at Paul at the moment. P30, not having one of those great days for Paul Cowlishaw, as you know, that is generally always in the mix and bumping and grinding with the other drivers in his class. Go ahead. Honestly,
didn't realise he was here today. Yeah. I'm wondering whether something must have gone seriously wrong for Mr. Cowlishaw. Doing well in the championship so far. Want to forget for today, along with James Bostock as well. Did gain positions in the end, Mr. Bostock, I think, but might be normal service resumed. He had such a great start to the season with a P2 and a P1 in round one. But not gone well from its Spa, nor here today at Le Mans. It's Hockenheim next, but we shall move swiftly on to the interviews. We're going to bring in Matthew Hyland, first of all, the winner of the Pro-Am category, and a good job too as well. You're absolutely mixing it up there with the big boys. P3 overall. You've got to be extremely satisfied with that result, man.
That's an understatement, to be honest. That was like an amazing race. But I know I'm pretty confident around them on. Like, I'm very familiar with the track, but like, I did not expect to be anywhere near that.
That's third win of the season as well. That's going to shoot you into the lead of the championship. How confident are you that you can take home the trophy?
Slightly. I don't want to curse it again. I mean, I'm feeling good at the minute. I'm really enjoying driving this car. Like, obviously, it's brand new to everyone with it being so new. But I feel like it really suits me. So I just want to keep out of trouble. I just want to keep doing my own thing, and hopefully by the end I'll be somewhere up there.
For those like myself who might be considering buying that Ferrari in the short future, what's it like to drive? How do you feel? Why does it suit you?
It's very neutral. I mean, I was saying this during the race to Rob, that's obviously my teammate, that it doesn't seem to excel anywhere. Like, all the other cars seem to have really big strengths, but it is very neutral, and it's very, as long as you're patient with it, it's just nice place to be. It's just very good all rounder.
That's third win this season, and we'll let you go. Enjoy that. Get the champagne out. Get the bubble bath on the go. But thank you very much for your time, Matthew, and congratulations once more.
Cheers, guys. Catch you later.
Have a good one. Disappeared for a second there. We'll bring in the race winner overall next, and another win in the bag, Tristan. That's the second since you've turned up into Evolution Sim in Evolution Sim Racing. Things didn't go quite your way in the second heat race last time out in Spa, but this being the 1 hour race, you really wanted to make a statement here. You've definitely done that.
Yeah, we enjoyed the race. Unfortunately, I'm sure we're going to see it in the replay now off the start with the teammate and Ewan. But yeah, it's racing sometimes. So it was a bit of a quiet race. Also, we missed Reese on the grid, so I'm not sure where he was tonight. But yeah, another win in the bag. Enjoying the series, and yeah, these race formats are quite cool. So great to be here and loving every minute of it.
That's a big jump for you in terms of championship as well. You've gone from 63 points to 163 points with that one win there.
Of course. There. Sorry, we cut you off in turn two. Go ahead.
Yeah. Ewan and I were actually chatting about that. Obviously, with Luke trying to come back on, Ewan went straight, and I just caught me off guard. So me and him had a bit of a tap there. And then I think, yeah, if you keep watching, then Luke and him meet again, unfortunately.
Yeah,
so
That's right, they did too.
Caught that live and got a couple of replays of that in the stream itself. At the risk of promoting a fight, what did you make of that incident? What do you know about it?
I actually haven't seen it yet, so I'm going to be watching it live with you guys now. And let's see what happened. I just saw smoke, and then obviously they both went off. Yeah, I don't know what happened there, to be honest. Not too sure.
From our perspective on the live screens, it was a bit of a send from Ewan Stitchbury in an odd place. Definitely tagged the back of your teammate. Your teammate then gave up on it and then just didn't carry on. What was the thinking about it? Could he not carry on? Or there's a couple of fast repairs available.
Yeah, so I think frustration. We obviously put in quite a bit of time, and yeah, it's just frustrating an hour race when it ends like that. So obviously we're coming off the back of Spa where he had to tow to the pits. So
but it didn't
similar
end.
kind of.
But it didn't end. That was only the race start. You still had an hour or something to make a change.
Yeah, look, I don't know how bad his damage was, but
okay.
yeah.
Oh, congratulations on the win. It was pretty comfortable for you in the end, and obviously notable miss of Reece Saunders this week. Maybe you could have provided you with a bit of competition there at the front of the field, but overall, you've got to be satisfied with that result.
Yeah, like I said, super happy. Obviously, like I said off the start, there was a bit of contact, which did cause a bit of panic for me in the first stint because I had a steering wheel that was about 40 degrees to the left and quite a bit of aero damage. So try to just stick with the guys in front. I think then on lap 2, the two ahead of me both got slowdowns, which led me back into the lead. And then from there, yeah, just try to keep it clean. I think after that, I only got one slowdown after that, and no off track. So yeah, I kept it clean, and again, super happy with the result. We'll keep plugging away, but hopefully, yeah, we'll see more of the top guys back for the next one, and then we can have a proper fight.
Best of luck at Hockenheim for the next one. We'll let you go. Enjoy your win, and have a good evening.
Thank you so much, guys. Nice to meet you both as well, and yeah, keep well and see you on the next one.
I think we shall bring in Jeremy Ulemans next and ask him about his race. Jeremy, fantastic result, P2, and these 1 hour races are really going to be very important come the end of the season, given the double points. You must be very happy with P2, though.
I have no idea where this came from. I'm still shaking. I have no idea where this came from. My fastest lap in practice on the last Monday was a 3:57 flat. I did a 55.7 in the race.
Wow, that's some improvement. Pressure on, and you seem to perform. Is that something that you've noticed in your races in the past, where when things start getting a bit antsy in that seat, that's when you're able to focus the most?
Well, to be fair, this is my third proper GT3 race. I've only been playing iRacing seriously for like 3 months, and I've jumped into a GT3 3 weeks ago, so sky's the limit for me now, actually.
I'm going to say that's some very good going. You picked up the car very quickly. I take it you've got some experience in other sims before you came to iRacing, then?
No, not really. No, I'm just very
talent.
I can be extremely focused on my goals, and sometimes a little bit too much. But that's like iRacing is all I'm going for at the moment. So I'm freaking out still.
He drives real cars for a living. He just does this as a hobby. Real sports cars, right?
Not even my real car is a VW Polo, so that's not really fast.
Well, I feel that pain. I've got a Yaris on my drive, but P2 though, you've got to be absolutely chuffed with that. That's your best result of the season, I believe, as well. What do you think? How much do you think more do you think you can improve?
This is it.
It's never going to come again, eh?
to be fair, when I started this league, I thought P15 is like my place, and I know there's a couple of fast guys that had an incident or weren't here, but I did not expect this at all. Expect me around between 10 and 15. This was a one-off, I guess.
You never know. If you put the practice in for Hockenheim and you turn up to every race and you get some consistent results, you could do well in the championship. But for now, I'll just congratulate you on a fantastic podium and let you go. Have a good one.
Yeah, thank you.
I think we'll leave it there. 3 interviews probably enough for that. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, everyone. Please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and let Biggles sign us out. It was a fantastic race in the end there, Biggles, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, it always was, isn't it? An hour Le Mans is a grueling fest for a lot of those drivers, especially as we found out about our race leader of Trishan there that did that with damage as well. You could see the visual damage on his car earlier. They were showing in the replays, having to adjust that steering wheel. And putting those blistering times all by himself is absolutely outstanding. And going over, of course, for our league details at the moment. So that is ticked off the box there, round 3. And then we're heading to Hockenheim, as you said, for round 4. Daytona for another 1 hour sunset race would be fantastic as well. My favorite track in Interlagos. And probably my favorite US track, Watkins Glen. And then, of course, back to the mighty birthplace of motor racing at Silverstone GP Grand Prix. So that's it, isn't it?
Yeah, very much looking forward to that Silverstone one. It's going to be a firm favourite amongst all the drivers. But yeah, that's it from us. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next week. Take care.